Hello, everyone. So today we're doing a fun, bright pink and orange, yellow too, I guess, summer mani. And so this that I'm starting out with, ooh, that's a jelly, I think. I wasn't expecting that. This is Ladies' Night, and I was this from the Advent box? I can't remember now. It's very pretty though. I was not expecting a jelly, but I think it'll still work just fine. We are obviously using a ton of different sets today to get all of these. This is actually the Dupe It and Stacy's group, if you're in that. So, and I loved the colors, so I kind of tried to stick to true to form, didn't really change them up. So, but anyway, it's like a different set for every nail, and it was a lot of fun to ruffle through my stack, ruffle, rifle through, I think, my stash and try to pick, the right colors. And obviously, they're not the exact same colors, but I was more like, okay, what ombres do I have, and what matches with those. So that's pretty similar. I ripped a little bit coming off. This is a very pretty, reminds me a little bit of hibiscus heat. I mean, I don't think it's the same exactly, but obviously not exactly, but and it's got a really pretty, I don't know if it's a gold flash or but it's got a not a flash, but like the glitter kind of flashes in it. Really pretty. Move this one out on the edges. Yeah, I can't believe summer is about over. We start school just past the middle of this month, August. Or my kids start school, I guess. I can't believe it's summer's about over, but at the same time, I'm ready. I'm feeling more ready every day. I'll have 2 in school all day long because I have a kindergartner, and this is the 3rd year here in Utah that they've done. Okay, so I didn't need this other strip, so we'll set it aside. That they've done full day kindergarten. So before that, it was half day. And I think I didn't think I'd be able to do this, but I think with a thumb strip, I'm gonna be able to turn this sideways and do a sideways ombre. I'm not sure how that would work, but I think it's going to. And this is the first time I've done this, so I'm not sure if I should cut it first to fit my nail better, but I'm not quite sure what that shape would be. So we're just gonna go with it, and then we'll know. It's definitely a different experience putting it on sideways. I hope I don't get wrinkles. Just gonna try and smooth this out. This is my very favorite, just a rubber cuticle pusher. Smooth out the strips without being too harsh on them. And then I think here's there we go, my wooden stick here to kind of help perforate the edge. I'm curious now if this is going to be enough strip to do my other finger. And if it is, that's a game changer because that means I could now do both hands with a single strip, which doing them the other way, the way they're meant to go, is never enough, which I never would have thought to try that. So we'll see. It might just be just shy. It does take a little bit more work perforating it that way. Mm, that's pretty. This one is, I didn't say the name, this is Sunset Surf, which holy gorgeous. I love these, like the bright pink, orange, summery gold in there. It goes with it. That kind of vibe. Always very fun. And actually, so I don't forget, I grabbed just some gold nail polish that I have and have never used, Sally Hansen Instant Dry. I never use liquid polishes, but if you look at the dupe it, it's like the black stuff they painted has like a gold to it. So I was gonna try to add gold. We'll see when we get to that point. If I want to. And I was kind of like, what could I use to add gold? I only have a white acrylic marker. Maybe I could use a Sharpie or some of my other markers, which you totally could. And then I was like, oh, I know I have gold acrylic paint I could paint on there. And I was like, oh, I have nail polish. I already have paint that's like meant for nails. So why don't I use that? Which is kind of funny. Okay, now let's see if this works for the other side. It's kind of like I was planning a pedicure the other day, and I was like, oh, I think it might. Let's do it this way and see. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's exciting. Anyway, I was planning a pedicure, and I was telling my husband, I'm like, that could be like my thing. I could come up with really cool pedicures for YouTube, and or I call them toe manis. I was like going off about toe manis, and I was like, oh wait, there's a name for them. What is the name? Oh yeah, pedicures. So first I should, get the name down, and then we could think about that. I just, I'm always doing manis. Pedicures are just kind of like something to cover up, at least this far in my life, are just something to cover up my toes and to see something pretty when I look down. I think my toenails are kind of gross. I said that in my, should be my last video if the order stays the same. The last one I filmed anyway. I keep them covered because I don't like seeing my toenails. I always think I don't know. I like them covered. So, but it's kind of just been something to I've always kept them covered many, many years, just whatever color. But it wasn't really like a thing to do art on. So I've kind of been getting a little bit more interested in that. We'll see. Part of it too is sometimes I'm not ready to do my fingers or I just need more content for YouTube. So I'm like, hey, how can I make this cool? So, but it's been fun. I've been enjoying it. Okay. That is so pretty. I love it. Just that shimmer of it. So pretty. Okay. All right. So then I didn't even need my second thumb strip. Oh, that's cool. Gotta save it. Okay. And then this is Wild Rose. Kind of like I guess it's not coral. It looks pretty pink to me. Very pretty. Wait, why did I? This one's gonna be on the small side. Oh well, we're gonna do it since I took it off the plastic. I should have grabbed two of that second thumb size to get all the way to the edges of my nail. See, I've got a little gap there, but I guess it'll be okay. Something that probably only I'm gonna notice, and hopefully it doesn't bother me too much. I do like this wild rose color. It's very pretty. That's the shiny side. Okay. This one might need some heat. It's maybe been used a few times and is not wanting to stick all the way. Okay, so see this one I did grab that second thumb size, which is what I usually like to use. And just I like to round it out a little bit since it's got kind of a more square end, meant for a square thumbnail. But I'm not using it on the thumbnail. Oh, so I was looking at the new, so it looks kind of like they add some new things to the Color Play Club store every month. So that's been kind of fun to see what they add, and I'm not always keeping straight exactly what they have, but one new thing for sure, they added a sticker book, which that just speaks to my, like, 9 or 10-year-old self, that I was really into sticker collecting. That was, like, the cool thing. I had my sticker albums, and then I had a whole box. I actually still have it, and I use it for, random stuff or give them to my kids or whatever, but I had a shoe box with, we'd collect, like, the whole sheets, and then you have your album with all of them, and you trade them, and so I might get that just for, like, the nostalgia, and the stickers were cute, but I might end up sticking them, in my water bottle or something where I can see them more versus I don't know that I would actually use a sticker album, but it definitely speaks to my inner child, I guess, you could say. What else was added on there? It's similar colors to this, but it's got, like, the wavy lines. That was a Stylist exclusive, I wanna say, that got added. I don't remember the name of it. That might be one I get, I don't know. And I'm sure other stuff. Oh, they added a tumbler, but that's sold out. It was the 2024 Stylist Trip tumbler, which I'm thinking, was that the one that got canceled because they changed their stuff? No, that was this year, huh? So that one did happen, I think. Anyway, those sold out quick. They were cute. Tumbler, and those are always in style whenever I get a new water, um, whatever, cup or whatever, it's always exciting. Okay, so then I didn't have a yellow to coral, I guess is it? No, I'm going coral to yellow. Yeah, see, this is more of a coral, but I thought it matched more. I guess it doesn't really match, whatever. I didn't have one that was like exactly that, so I thought, because I know this is sheer right here. It's kind of like those syrup kind of vibe or ribbon ones. I'm not sure exactly. I thought I would try yellow under it so you get that yellow instead of just my nail. Which I love these like syrup ones. I was kind of like, whatever, but on, I think they're really pretty. I've enjoyed them the time I've worn them. So this is Belgian Buttercup that I'm sticking down now. Just an old classic, kind of softer yellow. Well, and I think I just did a huge old wrinkle on it. Let's see if I might be able to, oh, I'm kind of working it out right now. Okay, I about got it out there. That's lucky. And I think the using some heat with my flax bag will help too. I think it's very minimal, the wrinkle that's left. I just kind of like pulled on it, pull one away with sheer mind over matter willpower. Um, like I've got like a little bit of tip and nail that didn't quite cover, but okay, this should be enough for the other side. I did cut my nails back pretty good, especially the ones that I knew I was sticking those ombres on. Am I saying that right? Is it ombre? Ombre? I don't know. Was thinking about that on here. I'm sure I say stuff weird. So I read a lot. So, and if you're a reader, sometimes you decide how a word is pronounced and have read it many times before you actually talk to other people and use it. So, I guess I must have been a teenager because I think it was a decal either for my license plate or like a parking decal. So I must have been driving, but I was just like going to town talking to my mom about my decal. And so I still get made fun of for that instead of decal. So my apologies for all the many things I'm sure that I've said wrong. Pronounced wrong, I don't know. Okay, now let's see how this works out. So let's see, we want it this way with the clear this direction. And this one, I don't think I said is raspberry tart, which I think is a sub box. See that? See how basically almost clear. Or maybe if we do it this way. And it's very sheer that way too. So we want to do, yep, to yellow. So we want to do it. Yeah, see, this one is not. No, it's still long enough. It looked like it wasn't going to fit as well, but it totally is. Oh, look how fun. That yellow totally comes through, and I was expecting it to maybe change the color a bunch, but it didn't too much. But yeah, man, my lighting must have been weird when I picked that because that is not the color I would have picked. That like, I think it'll still look fine, but if it bugs me, I might slap another color that goes better with it over there. So once again, if you see a different color in the thumbnail, Manny, means I changed it. The last time I said that I didn't end up, I just left it. I really enjoyed that Manny. That was the one that I did like the swoop tips, the swoop French tips with leopard coat and kind of the purples. I really enjoyed that Manny. And yeah, I didn't change anything. I think I did like a fine glitter, Northern Lights glitter top coat on it, and then a plumping top coat. That's what I ended up going with, so I didn't change it much. And it lasted really good. Like I still could have been wearing it. It was getting some regrowth, but again, I needed a video for YouTube, so I have to do something else. Okay, let's see. Let's just grab it this way. And we are this coming weekend, family reunion, and it's kind of a funky timing. I think that's just because that's what was available, and we booked it like a year ago. But we're going on Saturday through Wednesday. Like we check in Saturday and check out Wednesday. So it's kind of like not, usually you go kind of over a weekend or for a week or something. Ours is kind of like half of a weekend and half of a week, I guess. But we booked in southern Utah, there's a Harry Potter themed Airbnb. This is my husband's side of the family, and he's the oldest of seven. So, and most of his siblings don't have kids yet. Just one brother has kids, so it's not. Yeah, I might change this to more of an orange later because I don't even know what I was thinking. But anyway, so we're a pretty big group, but not like humongous. I think we're like 20-ish people. Hey, what am I doing? I was thinking I needed this for here. I was getting confused. That is not what I need. I need Elgin Buttercup because we're going to yellow. So good thing I have plenty of large thumb strips. Anyway, so hopefully that's a lot of fun. I've heard it's really just like the theming. Obviously, they can't say Harry Potter because it's not like licensed officially, but that's what it's themed as. And each of the bedrooms has one of the houses themed, and then there's like the secret portrait. See, now I have in my head going sideways. Which, what if that was a thing? Oh my gosh. I wonder if I could do two thumbs. Let's just try it. I did cut it flat, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Oh my gosh, that would mean I could get two manis. I just want to see. I don't know why I've never tried this before. This is why it's good to push yourself and try new things, right? It definitely fits this direction. Anyway, they have the portrait, going into Gryffindor that you have to say that I can't remember the names. It's been a while since I've read the books, but you have to say the secret code word to get into the house. I think the Gryffindor bedroom, you actually have to go through that portrait to get in there, and then they have like a themed area that's supposed to be like, I'm losing my brain, my thought process. What's the place where they go shopping? Oh my gosh, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Where Harry goes to get all his supplies and stuff for school. The town. I don't think that's going to be enough to do my other side, but now I know. And I know that I can do it with some of those fingers, mid fingers. I'll have to experiment with that some more. And then it's got some fun stuff for kids. It's got like a play area and a slide inside. So I'm thinking the kids should have a lot of fun. Last summer we did a similar thing. We found a also in southern Utah, a guest house that had like 5, 6, 7 king bedrooms, each with their own bath, or at least a shared like Jack and Jill bath. And then it had a pool, which was super fun. We did lots of pool time and the kids loved that. But this time there's a hot tub, and I'm kind of excited that there wasn't much to do inside of the other house. Like, I mean, for adults, sure, there was, a couple of TV setups and we could play games and stuff, but there wasn't like anything that was kid really oriented. Like there wasn't like a playroom or something. Whereas this one has indoor stuff to do and then there's just a hot tub outside. So I'm thinking because it's fun having a pool, but you also have a little bit of stress because you got to make sure that it's closed, and there aren't kids out there. That was a little bit stressful for me. Make sure they weren't getting out there. This one just has a hot tub and hopefully it has a good cover or gate or something around it. And that way we can just let the kids kind of run around the house and play and have fun and not have to worry too much. Last year my baby was 6 months too, so he was a lot of work, a lot of, "Okay, let's go down for a nap. Okay, okay, you don't want a nap. Okay, let's get up again," And so that was kinda stressful, but this time I think he's walking around. He's 1.5 now, and he can kinda just for the most part like, you still have to keep an eye on him, right? But he's not he can kinda just roam. He doesn't have to be watched as much. I guess last time he wasn't really getting around either, but and of course, we're doing family pictures, which is good, but no one's really ever excited about doing them. Okay, so there's the Manny, and I really think I don't know, I guess it's fine with the pink. Oh, it's very bright. That's fun. I think I'm gonna enjoy seeing this one. Anyway, so the dupe it has like palm trees and a sunshine that they painted on. I think it's done with polish. I don't have any palm trees except for the one from the sub box a couple of months ago. What was the theme of that box? I don't remember. Tropical, it was something tropical escape or something. Anyway, so I have that one, but I wanted to stick with the ombre, but I do have saguaros. So, and I lived in Arizona down in Tucson for about 5 years. And so those always have a special place in my heart. The saguaro cactus, they're pretty magical. So, and there are palm trees around, and it's got kind of a tropical, desert tropical vibe. I could do I think it's fine. I don't think you can even tell. You kind of can tell. I could put the other well, we'll see then it's not gonna be long enough. I didn't have where's the package of these? So I have, if you can see, the second biggest is this one, and it doesn't have a swirl on it. So I could have done this one, which I guess would have been fine, but just saving my thumbs, I guess. So I don't know. Probably doesn't matter. Probably just leave it and put a top coat on there and call it good. Okay, where's my other one? So I'm kind of just using these kind of almost like a decal or decal, since we told that story. See, and I put it on the. Oh, that's interesting because that's what I mean. You can't. It's hard to make your manis symmetrical, not symmetrical, but like. So I guess we're just gonna put it on the pink side because if I put it on the orange side, then it's already in the middle of the thing unless I like cut it. So Okay, and then I've got this is Palm Before the Storm. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Yep. Also kind of has that tropical tree vibe. Here on this nail, and I am pretty much copying the nails that they put, the decorations on. My stomach just rumbled super loud. I hope that didn't pick up. I did start recording. I figured out the right app to record with my AirPods. But funnily enough, if you're using just like Apple's or your iPhone's camera, you can't record with your AirPods. So you have to have a different app to do it. So anyway, that seems to be working well. I feel like I'm easier to understand. I think I get into the moment and I just kind of talk quietly and relaxed and hey. And then the last thing they had, where's my see this one? It's gonna need some heat to kind of wrinkle up a bit. Had some little like birds flying, and I'm just gonna freehand those because I don't really have anything like that. And also, if you're playing Stacy's Bingo, I haven't used Midnight in Manhattan yet, so we're gonna cut our birds out of Midnight in Manhattan. And now we added that. See how this goes. Let's get some trash out of here. They're pretty small things to cut out, so okay, take the plastic off. Yeah, I've never cut out anything this small. I'm a little bit nervous, and if it doesn't work out, we just won't stick it on there. So that's fair. If you paint these kind of birds are like the easiest thing to put in the sky. I guess I could have brought if I had some black nail polish. I have no idea if I do, and just painted some on there. Nail polish is hard to work with though, it just is. Whereas if you're doing a painting, ooh, these are delicate. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, yeah. He's not symmetrical, but I think he works. I don't know how many of these I'm gonna cut though. It's kind of it's kind of funky to cut out. And I'm glad I was able to get it off the backing. Okay, now where do I stick them at? They had them kind of on this finger. Am I gonna keep that color? I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to think about it. But so it could go here with the saguaro, or we could just put it here on the thumb. Let's put it with the saguaro. I don't know. I don't like it as much once it's stuck down. Okay, we gotta make it symmetrical though. So we can probably just, well, over the weekend, it was just one night, my husband went with the church youth. He's a leader with them on one of their campouts. So it was just me home, and first off, I got my dinner super late because I focused on getting the kids to bed. So it was like 9 o'clock, which was kind of nice because I sat down, I got to watch my own show, eat my dinner. So I was up kind of a bit late anyway. And then my baby wakes up at like 3:30. He did several days in a row. This is really hard to cut. Where he was waking up around 3 to nurse, and it was super annoying. Anyway, that looks like a mustache. Anyway, so we did that, and then I had just gotten back to sleep, and the fire alarm went off. And so I was like full on asleep, and I wake up to, the blaring and fire, fire. And you immediately, like your adrenaline's going, right? and I know I'm home alone, and so I go and I check on all my kids, heart's pounding. I don't know if this one's gonna work out. Maybe let's just do a new one. And I go and I check on all my kids by the time I get to their room, because that's kinda like the last place. The fire alarm was petering out. It was kinda stopping, and so I was like, "Okay, so probably not still a fire happening." Oh, it scared me so good though, I checked my craft room, and I don't know why, but my one of my lamps on my desk was on, and so when I opened it, I saw that light and thought it was a fire. I was like, "Ah," but it was just that, and I was like, "Oh my god." Anyway, so everything's fine. My kids kinda woke up. They didn't really like I think they only woke up when I came around, so I don't know, we gotta work on that. If they had to get "Okay, if you hear that, you need to go outside." Um, anyway, somehow my baby didn't even wake up. He didn't even care. I don't know. Anyway, so I get back in bed and I'm just, my adrenaline is pumping. 'Cause you're like, "What if I miss something? What if" And so I'm, like, Googling, and it's like, "Yes, it's likely a false alarm. It could have been caused by an insect or some dust," and I'm like, "Okay, okay." I'm reading. I read my Kindle to kinda get tired and fall asleep. So I'm reading it. I finish my book, and I'm like, "Okay, maybe I can try to fall asleep." By this time, it's 6 AM, and I have to get up around 7 for something that morning. And so I'm like, "Okay." I kinda, like, start to think about falling asleep, and then I hear, "Chirp, chirp," that low battery chirp that smoke alarms do, at least that's what mine do. I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm not sleeping," and I go investigate, where's that at? So I'm thinking it just overreacted when that battery got low. I don't know why it was quiet for another, hour. So I'm not a fan of these. I almost just wanna take them off. These birds that I made. I don't know. I guess they're not the worst, but I'm not gonna cut anymore because they're too annoying. I don't remember what I was saying. So I go to investigate, and of course, the one chirping is in my baby's bedroom where he's sleeping, and he doesn't care. He's just sleeping, but I'm not gonna go in there and fix it, especially I'm not like I don't know off the top of my head how to fix it, you know what I mean? I've gotta kinda like, "Okay, where's the battery at? How do I take it out?" It's gonna wake him up, so I just left it. I definitely wasn't gonna sleep after that point, but I got so much done before my kids got up. I, like, watered the whole yard, did some weeding, did laundry, did all kinds of chores, but, oh my gosh. That was annoying, and I don't know. I don't know if there's like a someone needs to invent like a Bluetooth connected one where it lets you know, like you can check the battery life on your phone, like an app on your phone, and then it'll notify you like, "Hey, just so you know, you might want to replace this soon to avoid it," because it's always the middle of the night that it goes off. So, and then my husband, he didn't sleep well either on his trip, and then he got back and he got some kind of something didn't sit well with him. No one else on the trip got sick, but he ended up with some kind of stomach something, and but yeah. Anyway, we're both not doing it, but how fun are these? These are so bright and fun. I think I'm gonna enjoy them, but they definitely need some heat and some little more cleanup and time to cure and stuff. But I think I'll leave those birds, but I'm not gonna add more. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you guys next time. Okay, I'm cracking up because I said I'm getting this out so I don't forget, and then I was watching the video back and saw myself say so I don't forget because I did forget. Anyway, so let's try playing with painting some gold on top. And the brush in this, look at that. That's not gonna work great. So it's actually fine that I stopped it because I went and grabbed one of my painting brushes, and hopefully this doesn't ruin it, but one that's a little more fine. I think it should be okay as long as I don't let it sit. So let's just see what happens if I just add a touch of gold. I almost want it to be kind of like shimmery. This is kind of, I want it to be more like transparent is what I meant. Maybe if I didn't grab as much on there. So let's try with this one. Since now I don't have quite as much on there, we'll kind of just but just little bits of it. And I'm not doing it perfectly on the fronds, just kind of in the area I think I'm still getting a little bit further up on my brush there. I kind of like how that one did. This one, it kind of covered. Let's see. Got a baby wipe right there. A messy one because I was using it for stamping the other day. Yeah, I think it's pretty dry, so we're gonna roll with that. Okay, let's get just a little smidgen more. Kind of want it to be very, very light, so let's try that. It's hard to tell how much without. Oh, now I'm painting with my left hand. Since I don't use liquid polish. Ooh, my hand's like trying to shake. I don't have much practice. Let's see there. I just like dabbed a weird place. Let's see. It's fine, it goes with the shimmer. If I do it like this. Yeah, then I can kind of rest my hand on my other hand. That's helping actually. Go. See, I like how the black still kind of shows through on that one. Okay, and let's add some here. Guess maybe I could have done the heat first and then done this, but I think as long as it dries, I'll make sure it's good and dry so I don't get on. I want just a little bit more. Get the gold on my flax bag, that would be sad. Not for the gold, but I think it would be maybe stiff on the fabric. Which would not be the ideal. So there's kind of some very imperfect gold. Yeah, I almost want to like add black on that one because although I didn't really love the birds anyway, so how they turned out. Let's maybe make this one less. It seems kind of speckly. Should make it more of a smooth. I mean, part of me wants to play with this technique more, and the other part of me goes, that's the reason I do color street is because painting with nail polish is a pain. So anyway, but in the right instance, it's kind of fun. I'm gonna go get my brush rinsed so it doesn't dry on there, and so there you go. There's the updated look, and I'll catch you guys later.